But looking at this target array, let's come up here and take a peek at what we're looking at here. We have an array here that requires us to pay attention, and my goal is you're not allowed to shoot any heads. No heads. Okay, so you're not going to take the easy way out and escape the darkness.
Should we just behead them all?
You're just going to, no. But you're going to have to shoot what's available. So what I look for here is I look at this one, visual acceptability. What type of sight are you going to do? Are you going to look over the top and just see the front sight?
No.
What are you going to look at?
Hard sight.
Hard.
Now, it doesn't have to be super hard, but do you remember day one when I did a vertical strip and I did a horizontal trigger stripe? No, we didn't do this one.
Hey.
He did it. He just did
Andy,
Oh,
what are
fight
you talking
on.
about?
Who did that?
He just did it. So on this one, whenever I have a horizontal line that splits my target across and gives me a partial target this way, this is always referencing, this is, whatever this line is, I need to see this level. If you give me more vertical, I could be up or down and it won't affect me because the vertical is much bigger. So vertical line, horizontal line, very tight. So the sight has to be not just centered, but level. Sight has to be absolutely centered, but it could be up or down a little bit. Same thing here. It has to be absolutely centered and should be relatively level. Aiming points. How scared are you? No, seriously. How scared are you? Is it one of these things where you feel real confident and you want to take some extra time? I want to aim, I'll probably aim right here, right inside that A zone. Give myself a comfortable margin. This is real easy to punch that down into that no shoot if you're not paying attention, especially if you're amped up doing your first shot is a draw. It's not like you've been shooting all day. It might be the first target of the match. But anyway, aiming point would probably be in here. Obviously in here, I'm staying inside the A zone, but staying away from the no shoot. I don't want to shoot in the middle of what I got and end up out here because then I'll shoot a bunch of Charlies and I don't really need to. It's a full A zone, or at least it should have been. Okay, full A zone on the other side, same picture. However, this one is a goofy one when you're right-handed because that's where you can tell whether you're squeezing with your fingertips as you pull the trigger, because that's where you pull them right there. Not want to jinx you or anything, but if you start shooting them inside that no shoot and you think you're shooting them centered, do you all remember that pushing in a straight line we talked about? This is where you're going to put that to work. So I don't need you to shoot super fast. I want you to work in your technique, pushing in a straight line to the target, holding those feeling of two straight lines pushing into the target and pulling opposite that with your trigger finger. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Same thing here, but now you're shredding it. Now you're going, whoo, boy, that's a half an A strip. Look, 7 yards, that's doable, but if it takes you 14 seconds to shoot it, just stick it in the C zone, pull the trigger twice. Try not to shoot these. So if you're afraid of that target, hold right here on that line. If you're not afraid, hold just inside that line. I did the same thing here. If you're afraid of this target, hold up here. If this target is at 25 yards like they did to us at Nationals and you came in like this, leaner, we just stuck our sight right here and didn't worry about trying to get that A. If we got an A, it was not because we meant it, it's because we pushed it down a little bit. But I mean, we aim for the sweet spot that gives us points without risking a no shoot. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So what you're going to do for me is you're going to shoot this slowly. You're going to start off at 25% speed, and you're going to run your gun holding the straight line, feeling that happening, pulling in a straight line straight back along the line of the grip. The grip is pulling straight. You pull in the same line your fingers are pulling. And you're going to shoot these targets with that vertical orientation using that straight line concept. When you get to this one, you're going to come up with that sight mostly level. And I see a lot of guys, I'm going to take my gun out. It's going to be empty. I'm going to check it one more time, please. I see a lot of guys come on these kind of targets and they elevate their muzzle and they come in like this. And they come into that target and then they go, ugh, and they just do that. Oh my gosh. So what seems to help on a target like this, I like to lift my gun up against gravity and let it sit and pause at the top of that loop. And I come up below it and I float it. Temporarily pause, boom, boom. Seems to really help me from slamming that baby down. Maybe a tip, I tend to think of it as I can change my draw based upon what I'm saying and instantly, I don't even think about it anymore. I see that target, I go, I'm just going to lift it up over the top and let it float at the pause at the top and break that shot right there. Make sense? Okay,